Hello, welcome back to Beauty Bee. If you have never visited the Stryx beauty website and you are a beauty lover, I think it would be very worth your time. Stryx is a cosmetic line that is marketed towards, or as they describe it, engineered for men. It offers 3 products: a tinted moisturizer, a concealer pen, or as they put it, a concealer tool, and a makeup remover face cleanser one-step combination. Now, it is as ridiculously stereotypically male as you might expect. I think we've all seen this commercial. I think it was Dove originally that had the comparing men's dry skin to that of a worn out football or something. And Stryx does not disappoint. In addition to referring to their concealing pen as a tool, the image to help you select your foundation shade shows the shades as whiskey on the rocks. Couldn't even make that up if I wanted to. It's ridiculous. And perhaps most tellingly and importantly, Stryx makes clear that their packaging is discreet. Their concealer pen looks quite like a fairly high-end pen. If I had it in my pencil case right now, which I actually do have my pencil case here, and no, I did not plan this, but it's got BB-8, so it's adorable and I wanted to show it. It wouldn't seem out of place at all. They also describe their tinted moisturizer as being discreet, and I can see where they are coming from. You cannot see the pump from the outside packaging. They have a lid. It looks reasonably like it could be maybe a bottle of cologne, but the overall message is quite clear. Straight men, you can wear this and no one will have to know. You'll just look better. Now for me, someone who has consumed quite a bit of beauty-related media online over the past several years, the idea that makeup exists solely to make you look better is something that I had kind of left behind. I acknowledge that that is one of my motivations for putting makeup on most mornings, but women and the men who actively and openly participate in the beauty community, as well as other gender identities, have been sold the idea recently that makeup is self-expression, that makeup should be shown, and that is a great marketing technique. You know, if I'm just trying to look as pretty as possible, I probably just need one look worth of things. Now, if it's self-expression and I should be changing my look up just as often as I change my clothes to represent how I'm feeling that day, I'm probably going to buy more makeup, right? I mean, some days it'll feel like a red lip day, and some days it'll feel like a pink lip day, and sometimes I want glitter absolutely everywhere, which is actually every day, but I digress. And that same beauty community that so pushes makeup as self-expression has not been terribly open to the idea of makeup marketed specifically at heterosexual or masculine presenting men. The Boy de Chanel line that came out in late 2018 is a great example of this. I remember seeing quite a few different reactions to the launch of this line, which really is quite similar to the Stryx line in that it includes concealer, what looks to be a light to medium coverage foundation. I think the Chanel line also has an eyeliner of very nude nail polishes and, oh, an eyebrow pen. The overall reaction seemed to be, I thought we were past this. All makeup is boy makeup, all makeup is girl makeup. Haven't we moved past the pink is for girls and blue is for boys that we had drilled into our heads in preschool, if you're my age or older? And though it may be new to us in our generation, men wearing makeup is by no means a recent invention. Throughout history, there have been plenty of cultures where masculine men have worn cosmetics. And not to mention that there are cultures where concepts of gender and sexuality are very different from that many of us in the West today grew up with and experienced. However, I think we can still see that makeup isn't really generally marketed toward men. Look at lines of skincare, body care, etc. We have Clinique and Clinique for men. There's Dove, and there's Dove Men Plus Care. There's a whole range of Chanel makeup, but then there's specifically Boy de Chanel. And it's by no means unheard of for a brand to launch a new line in order to appeal to a different demographic. The Estee Edit, for example, was meant to introduce younger millennials to Estee Lauder. And if you were to look up makeup for men on YouTube, which I did just before I started filming, you'll see that the first results are not aimed at solving problems that cisgendered men may face that cisgendered women would not. For example, I don't know how to navigate a beard when applying foundation. I don't need, for example, to worry about what makeup or skincare might not be appropriate for areas of my face that get shaved every day. Instead, what you see are these quite minimal no makeup tutorials. The idea it being that if you are looking at makeup for men, you want to even out your skin tone, maybe brighten the areas around your eye, but most importantly, it needs to look natural and it needs to look like you are not wearing makeup. So do I think that Stryx, Boy de Chanel, War Paint, a brand similar to Stryx, etc., are promoting some somewhat negative views regarding men in makeup? To some degree. However, I also think it's quite a reasonable business practice. If you want to move men, probably one of the biggest untapped markets in the cosmetics industry, into your customers, you're going to need to appeal to the values that have been instilled in them by the society they live in. Now, of course, there are men who actively participate in the beauty community. I mean, Jeffree Star and James Charles are, I believe, the biggest and second biggest beauty YouTubers on the platform. I could be wrong on that. I do not keep up with that side of beauty YouTube. But clearly, there are men who are an integral part of the community. And we don't see a lot of straight cisgendered men in parts of the beauty community that actively involve, for example, applying and wearing, using cosmetics. Now, there are absolutely straight cisgendered men involved in beauty. I am sure that Estee Lauder and Kendo have probably more than their fair share of male executives. But we don't tend to see a lot of straight men openly wearing a lot of, say, glittery pink eyeshadow. However, I think that's starting to slowly change, and I admit that I, for one, have some mixed feelings about it. On the one hand, I think it's great that more men feel more able to bend the rules of traditional masculinity. I think it's amazing that beauty and makeup, which is something that I really enjoy, is becoming more accessible to a huge chunk of the population who may have been too afraid of judgment or concerned with traditional ideas of masculinity to really participate in it. However, I do worry a little bit that women are going to get shut out of an industry that largely we've been the ones supporting for the last couple 100 years. Are we going to see a pink tax creep into makeup? Are we going to see a strengthening of the glass elevator effect? That is, are more and more men going to supplant women in the top positions in the beauty community as more and more men adopt makeup? There's really a lot at stake in the beauty industry. In 2018, it was a $500 billion plus a year industry, and pre-COVID predictions forecasted that by 2025 it would be worth a whopping $800 billion. And I personally am very interested to see how greater inclusivity might change the beauty industry. I'm very interested to hear your thoughts. What do you think of marketing makeup specifically at straight men? Do you think it's a positive, a negative, or like me, do you think that it's a bit of a complex mixture of both? What do you think would change about the beauty community if more cisgendered straight men became incorporated into it? I'm very interested to hear your thoughts. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you consider liking and subscribing if you found this enjoyable or thought-provoking. And I hope I will see you next time. Bye!